Hi there, y'all. Star Ocean 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I have played it a million times, and now 25 freaking years later, we're getting a remake with Star Ocean Second Story R, which is just fantastic. But let me tell you, everything that I know from the original game still applies to this remake. And I've gone through and I've beaten the remake, and I've used all these hints and tips that I know from the original, and it's going to help you out so much. So here, let me give you 5 things that I wish that I knew before I started up Star Ocean 2, the Second Story R. This video is sponsored by Back to the Dawn, an intense prison survival and escape RPG that puts you in the shoes of a framed and wrongly incarcerated journalist caught up in a dark conspiracy, and it just released today! So be sure to go on now through the links in the video description and the pinned comment below to get it for yourselves. Here, you'll explore an intense prison landscape, forging strategic bonds and exploiting rivalries, while also partaking in various activities to outwit your captors and ultimately achieve freedom. In addition, the creators of Back to the Dawn are giving away exclusive Steam keys to the full game, an opportunity that I am sure that you do not want to miss. So, if you're as excited about this game as I am, simply head on over to the Back to the Dawn Twitter page to join in the excitement and stand a chance to play the game for free. You'll find the link to their Twitter page as well as to the game below in the video description and the pinned comment. And now with that, let's get on with 5 things that I wish that I knew before I started up Star Ocean 2 Remake. First up, number 1, plan out your party. The very first decision that you make is probably going to be the most important decision of the entire game. That is, who you choose as your hero. The Earthling and powerful fighter Claude, or Reyna, the healer from the planet Expel. No matter which one you choose, they'll both end up joining and fighting along with you. However, many of the story sequences will play out differently, and tons of private actions are locked behind each character, as well as all the various endings. But most importantly, each of these heroes has their own unique character that joins up with them towards the middle of the game. Dias, a super powerful swordsman, joins up with Reyna, while Claude gets that annoying, bratty spellcaster Leon. So again, just be cognizant of your choice. Now, let's go ahead and talk about all those characters more in depth with number 2, let's talk recruitment. There are 13 possible characters to recruit here, but at the end of the day, you can only get 8 of them in your final party. Obviously, Claude and Reyna are mandatory, as is either Leon or Dias, depending on your hero. So that leaves 5 open slots that you can really mess around with. Your first choice is the caster Celine. She'll help out at the beginning of the game, but quickly drop off in usefulness after you leave the cross-continent. The next few characters come in pairs, but are mutually exclusive to one another, such as Opera and Ashton. Both of them are really powerful and very useful, and you can't go wrong with either one, and Ashton can be recruited first. But if you want to go after that hidden character Ernest, then you will have to recruit Opera. Later on, over in Linga, you'll be able to grab Priestess, but if you do, you won't be getting Bowman. While there, after an armory contest, you can also get Welch if you enable a private action in Liqueur before going to the Hoffman Ruins. But she really sucks, so I wouldn't bother. Much later on in the game, you can round out your party with another healer, Noel, or a spunky little reporter, Chisato. You obviously can't get everybody together in one single playthrough, but if you play your cards right and plan it out, you will be able to get everyone on your second playthrough in the New Game Plus. Number 3, focus on skills. As you fight battles and complete quests, you'll gain up SP, which is easily the most important thing in the entire game, even more important than your experience points and your levels. You'll spend SP to raise your stats, gain access to new abilities, crafting opportunities, and all sorts of other neat little stuff. So let me just kind of give you like a basic rundown of what you need to focus on first. First things first, max out determination for every single frickin' character, because having that at max level will ensure that every other skill is cheaper. Do not fall into the trap of putting all your other points into effort though, because it sucks. All it does is reduce the amount of experience that you need to gain your next level by 50%, not all levels. So you're much better off waiting till like the end of the game to use that. At this point, after determination is done, you are free to focus on your stats. Biology is fantastic to increase your HP, as is aesthetic design to raise all of your stats across the board. But there is more to life than just stats, so let's talk about some specialty skills. In number 4, super specialties rock. Super specialties are a combination of skills, and when they're leveled up together, they unlock. There are tons of good ones that you want to get, such as Enlightenment, which reduces the amount of full that you earn, but increases the amount of SP and BP that you earn per level. Then there's Training, which you can turn on and off on a character-by-character basis. This increases the amount of experience points that you earn, while at the same time lowering your stats, which is great for grinding, but not so hot for bosses. Survival is another fantastic one to grab, as you'll just kind of like randomly receive items as you move around the map and play the game. Group Appraising is perfect too, since you won't be getting as much money because of Enlightenment, but the group appraisal will lower the cost of items in shops. Then there's Scouting, which will allow you to raise or lower the frequency of battles at will. Make sure that you learn them all in order to tailor the playthrough to your specific playstyle. And finally, number 5, Pickpocketing and Bunny Hopping. These two super specialties deserve a section of their own. Pickpocket is one of the most powerful skills in the entire game, and in order to really get the good stuff, you're going to want your hero to begin with or learn that Nimble Fingers talent. So you could always kind of like save and reload the game until you begin with it. Then, once you have that, you want them, and only them, to learn Pickpocketing, because it is the most useful items in the game are found during private actions, whenever you only control your hero. You'll find things such as battle suits, goodie boxes, and the elusive Sprite's bracelet, which you'll only be able to get for the fortune teller before the destruction of Kirk Port. It just puts great items into your inventory where you're like wandering around just playing the game. Another super specialty that you'll want is Bunny Call. It allows you to roam freely about the world map on the back of a bunny at super speed with no encounters whatsoever, and you're able to cross forests, mountains, and rivers and find tons of great endgame treasure that you wouldn't normally be able to get until much later on in the game. It is just fantastic. So that's it for 5 things that I wish that I knew before I started up Star Ocean the Second Story R. What hints and tips would you share for the game? Let me know in the comments, and let's get a discussion going on here, and let's all talk and chat about it, because I'm always there too. And if you like what I do here on the channel, please head on over to the Patreon to sign up for early access to my videos and behind-the-scenes photographs. The link to it is over in the video description. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.